play of the game from way down.
1, 2, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bombs Tastingo gonna find Rainer.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I'm your host, Arrow, and we are going to see ourselves in our doubleheader tonight, a match between Wholesome Halfwits and Deathwing's Hookah Lounge. Both of these teams just finished up a first round of their matches. They're both on doubleheaders, just as we are here. And let's just kind of take a quick peek here as they are ready to go. So there actually has been, let me see if I can get this updated, because there actually has been already an update because of that. Actually, it's already done. Cool. So I don't even have to change anything. It's already done for me. Yay. The Wholesome Halfwits, Deathwing's Hookah Lounge. Let's take a look at these standings. Wholesome Halfwits sitting at 6 points now, and Deathwing's Hookah Lounge at 5 currently. Now, I don't know how their previous game went, but that Wholesome Halfwits here currently 2-0 over Terry's crew. That's who they just played. Minion Miners, they defeated them 2-0, and then they lost. Wait, 2. Yeah, they lost 2-0 against Dread Pirates. And for Deathwing's Hookah Lounge, they defeated Minion Miners 2-1. They defeated Phoenix Rising Diamond 2-0. So there you go. Maps real quick here, and then we'll get into the draft because they're already going. Wholesome Halfwits banned out the Sky Temple and Dragonshire. Deathwing's Hookah Lounge banned out the Braxis Holdout and Alterac Pass. First pick of the game gonna be Infernal Shrines, and it was picked by Wholesome Halfwits. And it's time! Gonna remove Star Fox from my friends list. So Ariel making it all the way through the draft, and I mean, we saw earlier she's a very impactful hero, so not unbeatable, but definitely a strong hero. But we are gonna see the bans on the Deathwing. We've got the Garrosh, and then also the Kerrigan and Sylvanas. Convection smoke. Nice. And you know what? These teams were ready to go early, so I haven't even set them up on the thing. I should probably double check that they're all good there. So Sylvanas there. All of these are you know, really good bans here, especially for the map. Let's get this posted here. And we're gonna see Arthas banned out here, so kind of surprising with the Greymane on the other team. Usually you'd want to see the Arthas on your team. But you know what? Having everybody slowed would provide more hope for Ariel as she's able to hit her own swift sweeps or whatever. Sweeping. Anyways, the thing that goes. The clap. There we go. We'll call it the clap. And Blaze is going to be the third and final ban here for Deathwing's Hookah Lounge. And yeah, it looks like I do not have everybody in here. Correct. So we'll fix that while everything's going on. So looking for more to go with the ETC Mosh Living Bomb Destruction here. So Toronto going to be great for that. She's going to have the Lunar Flares for the stuns. Rainer getting that additional damage in there. So also, depending on his talents, may take Exterminator. I mean, Exterminator would be really good for clearing the shrines, but also if they do lose one, really good for clearing the Punisher itself. Jaina and Thrall. Okay, so we're gonna see a whole lot of slow potential here out of Deathwing's Hookah Lounge here. Oh, I gotta type these faster, so give me 1 second, folks. Sajali, I think that is what it is. It's been a while since I've cast Wholesome Halfwits, and I don't know that I've actually ever cast Deathwing's Hookah Lounge, so this is a treat. Did I get them all? I just need these two. Patches, had Jaina, and Big Wiz had Thrall. Cool. All good. So here we go. Who do you think's going to win game number 1? Is it going to be our team on the left here, Wholesome Halfwits, with their mosh pit leap, crater leap? Could they go crater leap? Area at crater? Or is it going to be the team on the right, Deathwing's Hookah Lounge, with their taunt, cursed bullet, blow up potential? I don't know. Guess we'll have to find out. What doesn't like? Cannot content. All right, we'll just go DHL because apparently, no, maybe it's Halfwits. It doesn't like one of the words. It must have been Halfwits. Anyways, I abbreviated. Enjoy the abbreviations. Let's get into game number 1 here. There's an unacceptable train mount. They'll probably just deal with it. On the right here, we've got Deathwing's Hookah Lounge. Blue 1442 going to be playing Oriel. Star Fox 64. Do a barrel roll. Playing the Varian. Devo on the Gray Mane here. Big Wiz on the Thrall. And Patches playing the Jaina. On the left, we've got Wholesome Halfwits. It's going to be Dr. Jelly playing the ETC. Crooked Smile on the Kael'thas. G-Money Drums on the Rainer. Freckle Pants playing the Tyrande. And Tribulation on the Sonya. And you know what? I can't fault the ETC. I did the same thing. Literally the exact... I was playing ETC. It might have even been that skin with that train mount. And even after the first game, I did it a second time. So it is what it is. You know, sometimes it just happens. But let's take a look at the talents here. So ET's going to get the power slide in onto Varian. Varian doesn't have a whole lot of protection here. Tries to protect from the parry, but it's not going to be enough. And by the way, I said in the draft there, the comment about convection. It's legit convection. It's right here. It's right here. Look, he took it. So there you go. Kael'thas suddenly a target because he doesn't have any shield. We'll see how that goes. I mean, they do have some pretty decent protection. ETC can provide the stuns and knockbacks. Rainer can provide a little bit of knockback value too. So we'll have to see how that turns out for these guys. Otherwise, I mean, pretty well as you would expect, it looks like. Especially with, you know, a Gray Mane on the other team going into that tough as nails for the block talent for Sonya here. Ace in the hole for Rainer, so he's not going to go Exterminator. He doesn't need to. All right, Deathwing's Hookah Lounge coming in with the votes. Everybody thinks that this... Oh, Gray Mane! Oh, ugh! I had to find where Gray Mane was at on the mini-map. I saw him going down, but he fell right as the camera got there. All right, Varian now has the extra health. That'll help him to survive. He's also got that taunt, so he can get some interrupts potentially, or just hold some heroes in place eventually for maybe some cursed bullet action. And you know, that taunt with the cursed bullet and Jaina damage coming out, like, I'd be worried if I'm Wholesome Halfwits about the potential blow up onto just about anybody. Speaking of that, we're gonna see the rotation onto Sonya. The Thrall doesn't even bother rooting. They just get the kill. So that's 2 kills to 1 so far in this game. Both teams sitting very similar in XP, and they're both going to head over to their Shaman camp. Sylvia Cromanti, welcome. Glad you could join us. Who are you rooting for here tonight, Sylvia? Shaman camp picked up there for Deathwing's Hookah Lounge a little bit before Wholesome Halfwits, as the knockback there onto Dr. Sagelli, nearly securing the kill onto that beefcake. And let me tell you, I had a ribeye tonight, and it was so good. And seeing this ETC just reminds me of how good that ribeye was. Just thought I would share that with you guys. I hope you had a wonderful dinner as well. Speaking of ribeye, we got all kinds of beef as ETC gets deleted before the rest of the team can even show up here. And that's going to be the first shrine here. It's going to be a Mortar Punisher going over to Deathwing's Hookah Lounge soon. TM. That's okay. You don't have to root for anybody, Sylvia. You can just be here enjoying the show. That's fine too. And I like what they're doing here. So they've got 38, so real easy for them to get 2 more, certainly in the amount of time it would take 39 for Wholesome Halfwits. So they get this wall down. That means that the Punisher's going straight into the fort. There's no leap to defend. When Thrall's up in the top lane dealing with the Shaman camp, it did get a pretty significant amount of value there, getting that tower and the wall, so pretty decent. But the Punisher getting the stuns and locking down the ETC once again, falling in. You know, ETC's, he's a squishy tank if he doesn't have the ability to pop his abilities. So, you know, he doesn't get that 25 armor and he just goes down very quickly. It does help, of course, that there's a taunt and a detainment strike. Not, is that what it's called? Wow, I'm totally doubting myself. Let's take a look. Oriole, detainment strike? It is detainment strike. Well, we're going to see the taunt there onto G Money Drums. Rainer going to be the next one to fall, and this wall is entirely down. Just the one tower, and it's sitting at about half health. That's an incredible amount of value here for Deathwing's Hookah Lounge out of their first Punisher here. All right, fair enough, Sylvia. Thinking that Deathwing's Hookah Lounge has the edge because the Oriole buff seems huge. It is. Spoiler alert. But I'm a sucker for underdogs. So, you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, I think, if I remember correctly, as far as like the current standings, and I missed that entirely because I was looking up the standings, Wholesome Halfwits technically has 1 more point, but Deathwing's Hookah Lounge has played 1 less game. So, there you go. Level 10's picked up, by the way, a few moments ago here for Deathwing's Hookah Lounge, and it's going to hit hard as the Ring of Frost coming out onto Kael'thas, resetting those convection stacks. Tyrande also going to fall. So this game started off with 2 kills coming out from Wholesome Halfwits, and that's where it ended. We've had 7 kills in a row here from Deathwing's Hookah Lounge. So they're looking really strong here in this. But the level 10's now available for Wholesome Halfwits. They've got the Pyroblast, as well as the Mosh Pit that I mentioned early on. It's going to be Wrath of the Berserker, so no Ariat Crater tonight. At least not in this game. Shadowstalk and Hyperion. And that's going to try to counter out this Resurrection, the Ring of Frost. We saw that early Sunder there from Thrall separating the team, the Cursed Bullet, and of course the taunt, but that's really not his level 10. It's going to be Warbringer from Varian. So I've seen a lot more of Warbringer lately. It used to be that you would never see it, but a lot of auto attackers in games, and keeping your parry so that it's just the auto attack is actually still pretty decent. You get 2 of them instead of 1. We're going to see the rotation in onto Thrall. And you know what? Thrall's sacrificing his life so that the rest of the team can get down here, and they've got the Greymane, they've got Jaina, so this is a lot of potential burst damage onto this keep, and we see all the hearts coming out. I don't think they can get this keep fully. They probably should back away, but they're going to get it very close. There's the Ring of Frost defensively keeping the team away. Pyroblast coming in now. He doesn't have a shield wall, but he has enough health, so that's fine. And the next Punisher is going to be in the top lane. It's going to be an Arcane Punisher. Currently, the structure value here slightly in favor of Wholesome Halfwits in the top lane. So they did get that wall down as well as both towers. We can see that both towers are down here. So if they can get this Punisher, they'll definitely get the fort. And they might just get beyond that, just like we saw out of Deathwing's Hookah Lounge there earlier. And this is interesting. So we've got the hidden play here. But Deathwing's Hookah Lounge not quite taking the bait. Never mind. Thrall coming right into it. Curse Bullet going out onto the ETC. The taunt as well. Lunar Flare going to keep him alive for a moment there, but they're going to get the Detainment Strike onto ETC. Getting another kill onto him, but Raynor going to fall to the Jaina. And a third kill here from Sonya now as well. Getting the kill onto the Greymane. Is that right? No. From Greymane onto the Sonya. Just flipping icons in my head there. Words are hard sometimes, you know, folks. And once again, so now they've got Greymane sitting on the point. He has the potential to start working on these as the rest of the team is going to bring down this fort. They still have the Shaman, so it's going to summon these wolf minions. I don't know what these are called. What are these called? Fallen Hounds. There you go. They're Fallen Hounds in case you were interested in that one. And halfway done is Deathwing's Hookah Lounge. They've got 20 there. And we got an invade here coming in. The taunt going out onto Kael'thas. Kael'thas is going to get caught by the Ring of Frost. ETC power slides, gets knocked back, has the Celestial, whatever that is from Tyrande to heal. The Oriole getting the resurrection there onto Jaina. So back at full strength. And this was all a 5v4. Essentially, I think Sonya was in there at some point, but the taunt going out on ETC, that's going to be another kill here for Deathwing's Hookah Lounge. Maybe Sonya wasn't there. Maybe that was a 4v4. And just as we saw earlier here, they're taking out this wall, making sure that the Punisher can come over the wall. Sonya trying to catch up in XP here, as they're already down here a full talent here, 13 to 16. And they just, Raynor hasn't even picked his 13 here. In fact, Raynor getting caught there by the Varian, almost getting taken out there. Crooked Smile, though, getting caught by the Punisher, jumping right onto his face. The Curse Bullet coming in. And once again, the Kael'thas losing those convection stacks. As Sonya going in with that Elun's Chosen. That's the name of that ability. But it's going to be too little to survive into that full team, as G Money Drum's also going to fall. And Deathwing's Hookah Lounge taking the shield off the core. And with this Punisher, they're going to bring this game down in 11 minutes. So Sylvia, it looks like you called it. 4 kills to 17. They did get a couple more kills later in there. Of course, the Oriole got at least 1 res on that. Very strong showing here from Deathwing's Hookah Lounge. Was that right? Is that? Is that who picked that? I thought it was who picked that. I'm not sure. I thought it was the blue team. I don't remember who actually got first pick. Yeah, it was the right team. That pick by left. Yeah, okay. Good. Just making sure. So yeah, that's what you get for rooting for. There you go. All right, Big Wiz says they first pick, we pick Spider Queen. Okay. Tomb of the Spider Queen. And this was picked by the right team. Make sure that I have the map info correct here. That was Wholesome Halfwits. Yes, they did. Okay. Alrighty, well, you know what? While we're waiting on this to get set up, tonight's entertainment brought to you by the Nexus Gaming series here. So, gonna show you a quick commercial. We'll be right back. We're back. See how easy that was? So we got our team. We got one team already in the lobby ready to go. Most of our second team here set up ready to go. So it's gonna be Tomb of the Spider Queen. So our map selection switching sides here. As map number 1 there was the selection of Wholesome Halfwits. It was the Infernal Shrines. It was won by Deathwing's Hookah Lounge. And our bans originally here, we did see Sky Temple and Dragonshire banned out by Wholesome Halfwits. Deathwing's Hookah Lounge banning out the Braxis Holdout and Alterac Pass. So game number 2 here, selected by Deathwing's Hookah Lounge, is going to be on Tomb of the Spider Queen. So it's a very small map. Going to see a lot of fast rotation. So we're going to see heroes like probably Johanna. We may even see something like a Medivh. Could see a Lucio. We could see like the Kael'thas again. I mean, he's got pretty good wave clear, so wave clear is prioritized. We could see Jaina, Gul'dan. Sonya can get a lot of value here too. So we could even see in some cases, like kind of on a fringe case, we might even see like a Nazebo, because being able to go back and forth between the 2 lanes and stacking those minion stacks can provide lots of voodoo ritual. Is that what it is? Voodoo rituals to the level 20. Anyways, it gives him those stacks that give him extra health and mana. So by the time you get to level 20, he just becomes a god, basically. He's got more health than Deathwing. So there's some of the things we might see out of this matchup. So, folks, if you're enjoying tonight, make sure you hit the follow button and have those notifications on so that you can see the various casting that I do here in Nexus Gaming Series. Don't worry, you'll only get like 1 notification a day, pretty much every day, just about every day, when I'm not practicing or raiding in the worlds of Warcraft. So again, that was a pretty strong performance coming out from Deathwing's Hookah Lounge. I think, you know, if you're Wholesome Halfwits, these teams at least currently are similar in the standings at this point, right? So if you're Wholesome Halfwits, they've got to make an adjustment. And I think the first adjustment is don't go Convection on Kael'thas. but the reality of it is like the taunt variant into the ETC really set them up for a lot of plays, a lot of blow up plays. And Tyrande can give a little bit of a short burst with those Qs. I don't even remember the name of it, what the actual ability is called. Celestial, I'm sorry, that's Alfurian. Elun's Chosen can provide a lot of healing when you've got that one person being targeted, but when you've got a 30% or 40% really Cursed Bullet plus the burst out of this team, ETC just doesn't have the health pool, and he doesn't have any of his own unstoppable potential. So we might see a bit of a difference on that. We could see like Johanna, I mentioned earlier, Johanna would be really good on this map. We could see Garrosh. Garrosh provides some value in isolating targets, can hold those bushes in between, get picks pretty easily. So we could see some of those adjustments. We could even see a Mal'Ganis. Mal'Ganis is kind of in the same boat as ETC in that he doesn't really have that self unstoppable. Blaze does. Blaze is another potential. Also has bunkers, so it could help his teammates out if it came down to it. So one of our players crashed, by the way. That's why I'm stalling. In case you're wondering why I just keep talking about random things. My cushion seems to have adjusted a little bit too much. Move 37, welcome to the stream. Glad you can join us tonight. So who are we missing? So Jelly, Freckle, Tribulation. Oh, it's G Money Drums. Okay, gotcha. Alrighty, well, you know what? While we wait on our last player, I'm going to go ahead and throw us to just a quick commercial here so that you guys have something more exciting than to listen to me talk about random heroes. We'll be back in just a moment.
When I was young, I lived a life of recklessness. In my selfishness, I inflicted pain and hurt those I cared for. I have learned many lessons in my struggles with doubt and fear. Balance and harmony are not easily attained. They must be fought for! But on my journey, I have learned another lesson. You do not have to fight alone.
Let's do this!
All right, we're back, and it sounds like, unfortunately, G Money Drums internet went out, so we've got another player from the Wholesome Halfwits who's going to fill in. So I'm going to go ahead and change that over. We got Malaviel. And for those of you watching, if you are part of a Nexus Gaming Series team, it's very valuable to have a 6th or 7th or 8th player, so that you've got somebody that can fill in just for circumstances like this. Because if they didn't have this other player on their roster, it becomes much more difficult, and it potentially leads to a forfeit. So, you know, it's much better to play the game, even if you lose the game. It's much better to play the game. If you lose it, then so be it. But you have the opportunity to win. If you don't have a player, you can't. It's impossible. So, point is, add some people to your roster, folks. If you just have a 5-man roster, at least get one on there. And there are plenty of free agents that can help out with that. Never saw the Genji trailer. You know what? I have a bunch of the various cinematics that Blizzard put together. But I just, you know, depending on how much time we have available, I throw them out there every once in a while. So really, that was the 2.0 trailer, if I remember correctly, for the Genji and Diva, and that was one of the ones that I really, I mean, I like most of them, if I'm being honest. Oh, you know what? I should probably write down what we had in our teams. All right, so Greymane going to be the first ban, so he was pretty impactful last game. So I'm not surprised to see him taken out, because the variant without the Greymane is not quite as scary, but having that immediate drop and then following it up with the cursed, you know, the blizzard from Jaina, what have you, pretty solid. Yeah, I mean, the Ariel ban seems appropriate, but I didn't feel like Oriole was the primary issue. I felt like Oriole just stacked on top of other things, and I really feel like the Greymane was the biggest thing there. Alright, so that was Infernal Shrines, and I missed 2 of the bans from last game. So we are going to see the Deathwing coming in, as that was left open to play. Let's see, so Greymane, Garrosh, Blaze, and Jaina. And we're going back into the Oriole, so makes sense. It worked for them. Again, they can stack off of it, so why not? And Sylvanas allows them that extra push with the Web Weavers. So right? Like, it's so funny. Like, sometimes you're just like, oh, the obvious play here is, oh, nope, never mind. But that being said, both sides did get a hero that is really in the top of the bans here. So getting that Oriole, getting that Deathwing, and along with it, we're going to see Dr. Sigeli picking up the Tyrael. We're going to have Crooked Smile on the Kerrigan. Yeah, so Lulu, the Varian and Ragnaros one is the longest one. It's 3 minutes and 45 seconds. So it doesn't come up all that often. It's usually like, oh, we're going to be 5 minutes? Okay, fine. Tyrande going to be the third ban here. So what do they go with this? So Tyrande would be really good with that Kerrigan combo. We could see... Could we see a Deckard? We might be able to see a Deckard. We could see... You know who we're going to see? We're going to see Anduin. I think. I suppose it could also be a Kharazim. They have a kind of a dive-like focus on this. Star Fox going back into the Varian. Kael'thas going to be switching sides, going over to Patches this time. Alright, I think it's either Anduin or Kharazim. It's probably likely going to depend on what DPS they want to take, or, yeah, I guess DPS, as to which of those is the better one. So let's see. Is it... It's going to be Anduin. Show me the Anduin. Son of a bitch. I did mention earlier that Lucio was good on this map, so the sound barrier is going to be really helpful, especially with the Varian. The sound wave being able to knock people away when Varian comes in with the taunt, big value. And then, of course, we have the Samuro. So Samuro got a bit of a buff in general with his team fight, so he's actually pretty strong. And on a map like this that's very small, he can still do macro stuff pretty well. And Leoric going to be the final pick here for Deathwing's Hookah launch. Anduin yanking Deathwing out of danger. Jeez. If Anduin believes hard enough, he can do it. No doubt, right? All right, well, you guys saw game number 1. You see the drafts for game number 2. Who do you think's going to win game number 2? Is it going to be Wholesome Halfwits, or is it going to be Deathwing's Hookah Lounge? And again, sorry, but I have to use the abbreviations because apparently Twitch doesn't like one of the words. Or maybe more than one of the words. So vote in chat up at the top of your screen off to the right. Hit that down arrow. Select your team, Wholesome Halfwits or Deathwing's Hookah Lounge, and then hit vote. And then we'll see. We'll see what chat thinks. Alrighty. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2 on Tomb of the Spider Queen. On the right, currently up 1-0 is Deathwing's Hookah Lounge. We got Devo playing the Sylvanas. Blue 1442 once again on the Oriole. Kael'thas going to be switching over to Patches. Star Fox 64 on the Varian, and Big Wiz on Leoric. And on the left, Wholesome Halfwits looking to bring themselves up to an even score of 1-1 here. We've got Malavial. We'll say Malavial on the Samuro. It's going to be Tribulation on Deathwing. That seems like an awkward circumstance. Dr. Sigelli playing the Tyrael, Freckle Pants on the Lucio, and Crooked Smile on the Kerrigan. And right out of the gate, we see Samuro coming up from below, getting a little bit of damage here, but of course, at least at this stage in the game, Samuro doesn't really have the potential to 100 to 0 somebody. We'll see how that turns around later in the game. As Tyrael getting all the damage, has a nice little Living Bomb parting gift from Patches to go back towards his team, and is able to get away there. So, taking a look at talents. So, haven't seen this one in a while. Oriole going into increasing clarity, so additional damage with her sweep. As Patch is falling very low here, Deathwing not quite in a position to get the fire breath out there to finish the job. But also Tyrael. Tyrael's pretty low here. And using that smite to help move the team through. Devo in a perfectly fine and comfortable place. So never mind. But Samuro not in a very comfortable place, and neither is Leoric. So we might see Samuro try to go in on this. Leoric disengaging him with the Q, whatever it's called. And Samuro's looking. There's the life drain going out, but the clone is going to get taken out. So no healing for the Leoric. And keep in mind that Samuro does a little bit of self-healing now again as well too. So Crooked Smile here is going to get caught, spreads that Living Bomb over to Tyrael, and that's going to be first blood going over to Deathwing's Hookah Lounge, killing out the Kerrigan. So Deathwing's Hookah Lounge coming in with the 67% of the vote this time, so more votes and a little bit of a split, so we'll see how this turns out. Gravity Lab's just barely missing the Tyrael. Very close on that one. Doesn't like Halfwits, that's come up before. Don't know about the other one. Yeah, I mean, it might be that Hookah is a problem too, so I just figured whatever. We'll just go with abbreviations. It can work that out. The stun chain going out onto the Oriole, and now the return kill. And there's no resurrections. Oriole, at this point, is just as dead as Loki. Hashtag spoiler alert, by the way. Rip Loki. Alright, so we got 18 turned in, 15 turned in. Very close on the turn-ins here. And Wholesome Halfwits, pretty close. They're about 80% of the gems that they need to be able to get a turn-in fully. Once again, like, I hate to even not look at this bottom lane because they're so close. Varian going back into the taunt as see I literally just said it. Crooked Smile. But anyways, so up here in the top 6 to 5, let's show these level 4s again. And they're looking for the Sylvanas. Sylvanas is gonna use that haunting wave to get out of danger. Spoiler, yeah. Gonna get the kill this time onto the Kerrigan. Varian does. So once again, we're back at 2 for 2 as the kills being traded out. And it's going to be in the race to 50. Wholesome Halfwits getting there first. Now, they've got to turn them in, though. And so far, there's not really a convenient place to do that. Maybe bot lane if you're Wholesome Halfwits. Want to keep an eye out here, although there's a very real possibility there's a fight up above too. Samuro looking for it. He's going. Doesn't quite get it though. Up here though, it's going to be Oriole getting low. Doesn't have any hope. Lucio diving in with the push off, getting the slow onto Oriole and getting the kill. Kerrigan combo just missing on the Impale there. And once again, the kill onto Kerrigan gonna spread that Living Bomb over. And it's important to keep in mind too, Living Bomb doesn't just spread when it explodes at the end of the timer. If you die, the Living Bomb spreads as well. And that same for minions and all that good stuff. Wow, Civil War is your next movie to watch on your Marvel Cinematic stuff. Well, you know what? I mean, that's fair. You know, you really got to kind of commit to the Marvel universe. There's like 22 or something movies to that one. It's kind of like, I don't know, watching a TV series that has like 9 or so seasons. You really have to commit to it to get to the end of that. All right, Web Weavers coming up. Even though Wholesome Halfwits had the first collection available, they did not get the first turn-in. That privilege going over to Deathwing's Hookah Lounge. And with these Web Weavers in play, we've already got the wall down. It's going to be the Detainment Strike onto Tyrael. He's going to fall and make use of the trait to explode onto the Web Weaver here. Now, Deathwing cannot be hit with well, he can be hit with a Detainment Strike, but it's not going to knock him around. He's unstoppable. And Deathwing trying to use that Fire Breath to just push everybody back, get that Web Weaver down, but ultimately, Red Team has destroyed a fort. They get the first fort of the game, and they also get their level 10s first. In addition, they may actually get the bottom tower down first as well. They may get 2 forts out of this, it looks like. Can they get a third with level 10s? Do they get that ability in this? We are going to see that Warbringer again for Varian, so he's going to have that ability to go back to his team. The Kerrigan combos just haven't quite been where they need to be on the Impale. They get the, not the Ravage. I don't remember the name of that ability. Shoot. The pull, anyways. They get the pull. Now, Deathwing's coming in with the Cataclysm. They get the pull on Ariel into the Cataclysm, and they might be able to get her. They're very close to getting her. There it is. Deathwing, however, has a Living Bomb, and it's very difficult to see Living Bombs on Deathwing, either as you or your team. You have to really be mindful of that. The Sanctification coming out, saving Tyrael just in time. It's going to be that Bellowing Roar, forcing Varian back as Deathwing trying to make it out. He's got 21 gems, does not want to fall, as that's fully a third of the gems available. And of course, Samuro, you put a Living Bomb on Samuro, he just says, nah, thanks. So looking for 8 more gems for Wholesome Halfwits to get into this. Get themselves their own Web Weavers. Their Web Weavers, of course, will spawn a little bit farther back if they don't get the lanes cleaned up a little bit because of the catapult pressure. But we already see here 66% of what Deathwing's Hookah Lounge needs is already turned in. But Deathwing right up in the middle of this team here. We're going to see that Incinerate going out, and the kill onto Sylvanas, turn around getting that chomp. And Ariel may be the next to fall. Not quite sure if he can get her before she gets away, and it looks like that's not quite enough. But we are going to see the Web Weavers coming out for Wholesome Halfwits. Top lane pushed in pretty far, so that Web Weaver is going to spawn a little bit farther back. Means that, for example, the mid lane here could be the first target for Deathwing's Hookah Lounge. Get that down quickly. And Deathwing setting his fire up in a really good position there to hit the wall, but also to basically discourage anybody from coming through. It's a lot of damage in a very short period of time. And there's the Kerrigan combo, jumping in with that Ravage onto Big Wiz with the Cataclysm coming out. And he does have the Roar, so there it goes. Could potentially get the kill onto the Leoric, but he's able to use that Wraith Walk away. Big combo onto both Varian and Oriel, but not enough damage to take it out. Kerrigan going to get that kill onto the Leoric that I mentioned earlier, and they're going to res Leoric. So he is back on the map already here. All the while up in the top, we've got Samuro making use of that Bladestorm. Now keep in mind the Bladestorm was adjusted. There's no more unstoppable component to Bladestorm. So it's really good for, like, you know, wave clear. And then sometimes your Tyrael dies by getting smacked into a wall. Leoric is going to pull away. Let's take a look at these talents. Oh, I already had the talents up. Never mind. But let's take a quick chat about these talents. Oh, we got to pause. All right, so I don't see anything that says why. I don't understand what I don't know what they're talking about. Oh, and I'm the one that has to do it. internet bar and getting their IDs. Oh, nice. Okay, so we're ready. Gonna go ahead and count it back. Oops, gotta turn that off. 3, 2, 1. Pause, and let's get back into this game. So we had a brief moment there where we had to pause because apparently the IDs were being checked at the internet bar where one of the players was. Now we have somebody that just went offline. What a time to be alive. Our dude is at a local college bar and a girl is hitting on him. You know, you can't. I love it. I love it. These guys are great. I guess he's underage. Nice. So what happened there? Deathwing Hookah Lounge had a player that is at internet bar, and so they came by to check their ID. Shortly thereafter, Crooked Smile went offline. So the joke was, oh, he's at a college bar and a woman's hitting on him, so you know he needs a second. Let's try this again, shall we? Alright, so where were we? We were talking about Leoric, because I wanted to see what Leoric took. So Leoric's going into an auto attack. He's looking to get that % damage against the Deathwing, most likely there. And Samuro coming in has... Keep in mind here, Samuro now gets, instead of 10 physical armor reduction, he gets 5 physical armor reduction, but it also stacks with his clones, so he can get up to 15. Kerrigan, they're going to be the target as Lucio getting that sound barrier up, so going to keep Kerrigan nice and healthy. As the blue web weavers do get turned in, we did also see that Cataclysm, so that's going to be down for a little while as Deathwing takes to the air. And it's, I gotta say, I'm just not used to seeing Samuro using Bladestorm as a wave clear. It feels weird. You know, clearly focused team, exactly. Hey, R. Sanders. Hey, thanks for the follow, by the way. Last hour. Wave coming out. This is going to be a web weaver that's going to be cleared up pretty well here. And in the bot lane as well. So structures overall slightly in favor here of Wholesome Halfwits. Kills 6 to 5, so very similar here. The Entomb, you know, it's one of the few ways that you can kind of CC the Deathwing is by just creating a wall that he can't get out of. So Nazebo works really well for that, as does obviously Entomb. That's all that it does. As far as, you know, like Buried Alive isn't going to do anything. It's going to do a little bit of damage, but it's still a really strong ultimate here. And Tyrael is going to get silenced, is going to fall. So once again, like even without the Greymane, absolute just destruction. But they get the kill onto Oriel. She's coming right back though. Double Ravage used, got some damage onto Oriel, but again didn't have the combo because it was already used on the previous round. And Deathwing making that Fire Breath go out into the team. You know, with this level 13 and 16, so the reduced energy, so he can just keep casting it. And then also can flag basically a living bomb. They're actually going to be able to catch and lock down that Samuro too. So 2 kills to none in favor of Deathwing's Hookah Lounge. As we're looking at this camp invade coming in. And it looks like it's very likely to be successful. And it's at great timing too, because they've just gotten their web weavers. But they're gonna get the Entomb, and it's actually going to work against them getting the Oriel down here. Deathwing coming in with Cataclysm, diving hard here. Varian's going to fall next, and that's 20-something gems that just got lost, unless Big Wiz can pick them up and survive. We've got Dr. Sigeli chasing down Patches, trying to get in onto the Kael'thas, but not quite able to finish the job there. And they're very low. But they might get the Sylvanas. They do get the Sylvanas. So that's, you know, it's a consolation prize, but 3 kills to none in favor here of Wholesome Halfwits. So very big play for them, as the camp did get picked up here by, they actually won that. And that's going to help them to defend the Web Weavers. These Web Weavers are going to get absolutely 0 value because of that. That said, Deathwing doesn't have a whole lot of health here, so can't really fight into this percent damage Leoric, basically. The rest of them, I think he'd be like, ah, whatever, I got this. But Leoric showing up, maybe not quite so much. And getting that Mithril Mace as well eventually is going to provide so much auto attack haste here for the Leoric. And we got a bit of a bush party. Dr. Sigelli, I was going to say, has had issues with getting taken out here a couple of times, both last game and this game, because of that taunt. So checking that bush of vital importance. And we get up to 53 now. So Wholesome Halfwits is very close to getting a turn in. They've got the siege camp now going in the bottom, thanks to good old Samuro going wherever he wants. And there's the wall coming out. And, you know, the positioning of this wall makes it so that, like, literally nobody can come in. I kind of assumed that they were trying to get a hit on maybe the Deathwing. I don't know. But the blue Web Weavers are coming up, and these are going to keeps. These lanes are pushed up pretty far. There's no wall in the bot lane here, especially now that Bladestorm's being used here. No wall, just one tower in the top, and the one tower down in the... Sorry, in the mid. And then one tower down in the top, so... Coming right in, looking to see what they can get. Can they get a keep? Can they get level 20? They're not far away. They don't want to overcommit to this because of that. They're only a third of a level away, so they're just kind of trying to get what they can from these minions that are already pretty far away. Samuro even did get that XP in the mid lane earlier. And we see here, you see these little flame symbols on Leoric as they get the kill onto the Oriole. Level 20 is now available. They get the kill now onto Leoric. Oriole used the resurrection on herself, but Lucio diving hard, getting that boot back on Oriole. And with that here, bottom keep goes down, top keep goes down. They make their way onto the core Cataclysm coming down. And the big fear, Kael'thas is going to be okay because he's a mana addict, because he didn't go Convection. And at this point, they're trying to get the kill onto Deathwing, and Varian might actually be able to do it, yeah. But there's not anything they can do, as this core gonna go down. And that's gonna be game number 2, going over in favor of Wholesome Halfwits, taking us to game number 3. All right, we'll take a moment here to show the stats. Show the talents, and then you know what? I'm gonna show that Varian and Ragnaros clip, because last time it took a few minutes to get everything set up, so we'll probably have the time. Give me an opportunity to go get myself a tasty beverage. All right, so we'll be back in a few minutes. Again, thanks everybody for joining us tonight as we get ready for game number 3 between Wholesome Halfwits and Deathwing's Hookah Lounge. We'll be right back.
King has fallen. A father. A friend. A warrior. Defender of the Alliance. He was a beacon of hope. A leader without measure. A man who would never accept defeat. He was our shield against the storm. Wherever he has gone, Varian Rin will remain a hero. Always.
All right, we're back, everybody, and pretty much exactly on time, no less. Nailed it, almost to the second, as we are now going to Volskaya Foundry, game number 3 here between Wholesome Halfwits and Deathwing's Hookah Lounge, and it looks like this was the map pick of Wholesome Halfwits. So we'll see, maybe I just ruined somebody's strategy by saying the Cho'Gall comment, but, you know, it has to be said. Sticking with the garage band, they don't want to deal with that. And, you know, given what I've seen out of the Taunt Varian, I can kind of understand why. That makes a lot of sense to me. Kerrigan going to be the ban once again, so they banned her in game 1 too. Game 1, they did not ban her in game 2, and certainly that was a challenge for them. It is a cool cinematic, and you know the real challenge is that I've got the very first original one that came out with BlizzCon, but Twitch doesn't like it. So if I play it, it mutes the whole thing for that period of time. So what I might do, you know, maybe what I'll do is nah, I won't do that. That doesn't make any sense. Anyways, Garrosh, Ariel gonna be the bans here. We finally get around to that Ariel ban. We're gonna see Deathwing banned out as well. The first pick here gonna be Greymane, and going into the ETC Sylvanas. So still, I was gonna say still Varian. So Varian Greymane was absolutely devastating to them in game 1. So we'll see if they've got a way to deal with this. I mean, again, the ETC doesn't get his armor unless he gets an ability up. So I don't know. We'll see. But we're gonna see Stukov, and you know, at least for the team fights, I feel like Stukov is actually worse than Oriel. Like, Oriel's great because of the resurrection, but in the actual team fights, getting the kills, I feel like Stukov is gonna provide even more. Thank you, R. Sanders 69 for the 90 bits, much appreciated, and Silvara 83 for the 11 bits. Hope you're enjoying the show tonight. Is Lucio going to be the ban? And I thought that Lucio was a fantastic addition to the team last game for Wholesome Halfwits. That was, got them several kills. And there's the Deckard. I mentioned Deckard game 2, but they said, you know what, we'll bring it out in the next game. And Deckard on the control point map like this has the zoning utility. Now, the thing that he doesn't really have, though, is he has no way to counter the Varian. I guess Lornado, kind of, in a way. I mean, really, both of his ults can. But they get the Blaze, so again, I mean, could go into the bunker. I don't think that they will at this point, but they could. All right, Patch is going to pick up Li Ming, so we've got pretty much the full gamut, Arcane, Fire, and Frost out of Patches, because I think they took Jaina game 1, right? Yeah, they did. And this is... if it's possible, this might be even worse than the game 1. Like, the burst potential out of Jaina's high. The burst potential out of Li Ming means that if they get that kill, they just destroy... Okay. I mean, to be fair, they did say, what did they say? Ban Gazlo. They did say it. They told him, ban the Gazlo. Now, does the Gazlo win here? I don't know. I don't know. But you know what the Gazlo can do? I mean, on a point control map like this, do we see the Gravo Bomb? Gravo Bomb into ETC Mosh. I don't know. I don't know, maybe. I mean, you could see a Deckard root on top of that, which reduces the armor. Sylvanas, with her Shadow Daggers, spreads that damage to everybody. I could see that being a thing. And if Kaz goes lasers, yikes. The burst potential becomes pretty disgusting. All right, everybody, this is for all of the marbles. Who's going to win game number 3? See if the... There we go. No spaces works. All right. Is it going to be Wholesome Halfwits on the left? Coming off their hot victory on Tomb of the Spider Queen. We've got Tribulation playing the Blaze. I didn't do the pop-ups. Totally killing my mojo, guy. There we go. All right. Tribulation on the Blaze. Dr. Zajelli on the ETC. Back on the train mount. Freckle Pants playing Deckard. Crooked Smile on the Sylvanas. And Malavial on the Gazlo. Or is it going to be Deathwing's Hookah Lounge on the right? Looking to get the blow-up comp working here for them and the resets for Li Ming. It's going to be Star Fox 64 once again on the Variant. It's going to be Big Wiz on the Muradin. Devo playing the Greymane. Patches on the Li Ming. And Blue 1442 on Stukov. All right, so it's going to be Force Armor here for Li Ming, getting that extra mana regeneration, as well as the spell power reduction, I guess. Anyway, Crooked Smile going in hard for that, and is gonna pay for it. Was looking for that variant kill, but ultimately not able to find it. And Gazlo here already pretty low, does get slowed by the Stukov here, and ETC having to power slide away. Let's check in our bot lane. Big Wiz versus Tribulation, smacking these minions, and Blaze clearly has a little bit of an advantage on the wave clear here, at least for now. So it's gonna be the weighted pustule here, fetid touch, so eventually that'll make Stukov's weighted pustule a free cast. And it is the Shadow Dagger, Unfurling Shadows there for Sylvanas, so she's able to stack now. And I guess maybe that's what he's going for, trying to get that. Deathwing's Hookah Lounge with, I can't even tell how many votes. But it looks like all of them. I want to see what this vote looks like. Why can't I look at the vote? Manage poll, view results. There we go. In the meantime, we're watching Gazlo. 100% of the votes voting for Deathwing's Hookah Lounge. So there you go, everybody. That's who you voted for. Level 4 is up, and it is going to be Thunderburn. So getting that extra proc damage from the Thunderclap when he hits a hero. Also going into the Storm Bolt talent at 1 here, getting Perfect Storm, so that is going to help provide additional damage, especially when your Muradin is in your off lane, giving you the additional potential burst potential. But Muradin only sitting at 2 stacks so far, because again, he's in the off lane, so he's only got 1 hero to try to target with that. Let's check back up here. Good thing I did. So far, 2 kills to 0 here as the support camp being picked up by Deathwing's Hookah Lounge. There's not a whole lot that Wholesome Halfwits can do about it. So Li Ming going into the dominance there, looking for that additional health anytime she gets a kill onto a hero. So 20% of her health. Greymane coming off the point. Almost had the point, then left the point. So far, up in the top lane there, the siege camp is ultimately going to be taken out. Gazlo in the bot lane trying to work on getting them to level 7. Also, check out this level 4 talent here, Clockwork Steam Fist. So every time he attacks, his minions, his turrets, gain additional time on the map. So eventually that'll give him a shorter cooldown, I think. Yeah, reduce the cooldown. Now Muradin here holding this bush, watches as Gazlo goes by. Gazlo dropping the TNT there underneath him, discouraging the Muradin from coming back in. Bio emitter coming out. Can Star Fox make it out? Does make it to the conveyor belt just in time. Big Wiz having to jump away as the turret getting just so much value. There's overtime procced, and we're gonna see Deathwing's Hookah Lounge pull back, and that's fine. They got 99%. They can come back into this anytime they want. And it is going to be the laser here. So charging the laser faster, less cost for Gazlo. So again, they're looking for those big burst potential shots here. And Sylvanas again has that Merc Queen as well. So she's providing additional damage through the use of those turrets. 60% additional damage from the turrets here. Looks like now both teams have a turret. Is that correct? Did Blaze pick it up? No, I thought there was another one. I guess Sylvanas dropped it, so that's gone here. ETC gonna get the silence, can't power slide away, and Deckard with the big rubies. Dr. Sajelli going right back in, getting all of those potions and filling up to full as Li Ming and Greymane going down. And I suppose there's your burst protection. If all of a sudden there's a full health bar's worth of potions on the ground, you can just say, you know what, that's mine. I'll take that free health bar. And this full wall will go down in the mid lane, and they're going to make their way up into the top. They still have a pretty healthy protector, nearly 60% of its health as they clear up the minion wave here. They should be able to get the, at the very minimum, they should be able to get the tower. Well, I was going to say the top tower. They're going to get the bottom tower. And they're spending a lot of the abilities on the heroes as opposed to focusing on the structures. Of course, the damage from the protector went down a while ago, so it doesn't do as much damage to heroes. They might not even, yeah, they're not even going to get the well. So that feels bad. They definitely could have had both the tower and the well if they weren't trying to use the machine gun on the heroes. So one of the other things that having Gazlo here provides is basically the protection from some of those arcane orbs or even those missiles. The downside to that is you can't really stand next to them. Here we go. ETC's gonna get taunted here. Mosh got interrupted, I believe, but there's that gravel bomb getting a double stun. Greymane and Varian both gonna fall. That looked incredibly bad for ETC. And somehow he lives. Murden now as well in danger here. The silence going out, so is going to allow Murden to get the dwarf toss away, make his way to safety. As Gazlo continuing to push up in the top lane here. And it is going to be Lornado as well, so the bunker. So a lot of protection tools to help out with the zoning of the enemy team. Big arcane orbs, though, still do a lot of damage, even without the big burst of the level 4 and level 7 talents. Hey, it's the train mount, in case you couldn't hear that. Murden heading back down into the bot lane here, trying to gather this XP. He's missing that one little point, though, I think. Could have gotten that, but such is life. Siege camp now being worked on here by Greymane and Stukov as Murdon soaking that bot lane. Gazlo rather is going to pick up the siege camp over here to the left as well. Now Gazlo does not have a Merklord talent. I can't remember if he even still has one. And Dr. Zizali saying, you know what, I really don't want that taunt right now. And I think Haunting Wave is down, so Sylvanas needs to drop that turret because I think she dies. She does, in fact. The turret on the other side of the wall is going to get picked up there by Dr. Sigeli, so it doesn't get flipped over to the other side. And that is the danger of this level 7 talent here for Sylvanas. Festering Wounds, being able to stack those 3 stacks immediately, but then you find yourself kind of exposed. You can't get out. Now, there's no direct damage here, just the towers, but the towers are going to attack the minions. So really all they're getting is basically that spell power from Field Study here for the Deckard Cain, getting that additional potentially 40% in spell power. Really big burst for him. Gazlo getting set up with his turrets there. He's going to get taunted by the Varian, though. Big stun coming out from Muradin, and has the TNT dropped. But check it out, we got all kinds of potions here. They're going to get the mind control out onto Stukov. Stukov getting pulled back a little bit by the Lornado, but Blaze is going to go ahead and finish him off. And Dr. Sigeli getting the knockback, putting him into the root of the Deckard Cain, and that's going to be 2 more kills. 7 kills to 3 so far in favor of Wholesome Halfwits. And they seem to have found the answer that they were looking for on how to deal with the potential Varian Greymane blow-up combo. So far, at least. Gazlo getting pretty close. Just needs a few more auto attacks with his turrets up to be able to get to that 600 and that cooldown reduction. As Blaze trying to keep this lane prepped, moving it forward, get a little bit of damage on the walls. The biotic emitter picked up here for Wholesome Halfwits. So with the percentage coming over here at 80%, now Murden's going to try to body block the Gazlo. Ultimately does get the stun, but has to walk away. Taunt and Curse Billet coming in. Mosh Pit coming in, but the Stukov flailing swipe able to push away the Mosh Pit, but not before 3 members. Now we did get double biotic emitter there, as well as the turret here. They're going to get the power slide onto Stukov, and that's going to be 4 kills to none And this Protector. Now going over to Wholesome Halfwits. And by the way, they also have Sylvanas. So with Sylvanas, they're going to be able to take this wall out. Probably get the keep, especially having level 16s as well. As they say, well, never mind. There's the Cursed Bullet. And Dr. Zajelli having to pull back. Does have the guitar solo, so he's going to heal himself up a bit here. And we have a full 5-on-5 on here, with 2 of them, of course, in the Protector. Now, Gazlo and Blaze will be coming out here soon. The knockback here from Dr. Zajelli is going to keep him alive for the moment. Mind Control does land here, but Murden falling very low has the Avatar up. As without that, I don't think that Murden survives that. But ultimately, they do get the top keep. And right now, this game is looking very much in the hands here of Wholesome Halfwits. Got the first keep. They pick up another fort with a Protector that has almost no health here. The ETC is going to get rooted and silenced there in the lurking arm, but he's going to be able to get out. And Deathwing's Hookah Lounge here is sitting at level 14. Still about a 1 1/4 levels to go before they get to level 16 in those talents. And ultimately, I think they kind of need to... I think they're multiple fights away from being able to really be in this game. Although there's the Gravo Bomb pulling Murden in. Can Big Wiz get away? He can. Here's another Power Slide getting 2, but the Mind Control coming out is going to secure the kill onto Stukov. And Patch is using that knockback from Wave of Force to push the team away. As Devo there on Greymane, having to Hearth. Needs that health and mana returned. So Sylvanas is going to come over, pick up the fortification camp here. We have Gazlo, we have ETC. I mean, yeah, like, go drop a turret, let it tank, and get this tower down. Is he dropping? He is dropping turrets on the thing. Because again, his auto attacks allow his turrets to stick around forever, basically. So as long as he continues to auto attack, he can set up a rotating platform of destruction on the control point. And if he takes the level 20 upgrade to his turrets, he can actually fire death lasers from those as well. And if he gets enough of them, in theory, he can actually basically just one-shot anybody on that team. Including Varian, who doesn't have the shield wall. So we'll see how that goes. It is Scroll of Stone Curse here for Deckard, getting that additional damage as well. But 16's now picked up for Deathwing's Hookah Lounge. And they are going to rotate up on this. Looks like they have a pretty good idea that this is taking place. It is going to be Alpha Killer there for Greymane, so getting that % damage. And there it is, the taunt, Cursed Bullet, blow up combo here as Gazlo getting the combo in onto Li Ming, Jet Propulsion coming in onto Stukov here, but Varian very low, and he's walking through this field of potions like, hey, I wish I could just get this. And this is danger here because, yeah, Stukov just walking onto that point looking for that biotic emitter. A little bit of a trap as Gazlo able to get that parting gift with his laser over the wall onto the Murden. And this is Control Point C coming up here. Level 20s soon for Wholesome Halfwits as well. Nice spray here. Rip HGC. And I realize that's not an HGC spray, but you know what? It's Heroes of the Storm. HGC was Heroes of the Storm. Rip. So what do we got? We got a bio emitter. We're gonna have another turret, and that's it. So 2 items here on the side of Wholesome Halfwits. So far, for Deathwing's Hookah Lounge, they don't have any items just yet. Can they get anything? No, not really. And this is where now Wholesome Halfwits is starting to set up so that they can win the game. This gives them a path right into the bottom keep. They can take out that wall. They can literally just go core by taking out the wall and just walking by the keep. Keep will do a little bit of damage, but whatever. And here's the turret field that we saw. Now, what did we get from Gazlo? Is it the lasers? It's raining scrap, so he's actually going for the cooldown reduction and mana return here. Mosh Pit gonna go out onto Stukov, but they're gonna get the knockback here. And Dr. Stiljelly has taken a bunch of damage here. The Gravo Bomb does get the kill onto Stukov. Might also get Varian as ETC getting the kill here onto Greymane. And Muradin, the only one left nearby here, is gonna be able to go ahead and Dwarf Toss away. And that's gonna give now the Protector here over to Wholesome Halfwits. And there are 3 dead for a pretty lengthy amount of time. I mean, again, they could literally just walk by, just go straight to the core with this. Kime, welcome. Made it before the stream ended. You sure did here. But before they go core, they're going to take out this keep. Make sure that it's not shooting them in the back here. Still a minute and almost 10 seconds left on the Protector, and they've got their tank and their offlane here in the Protector. Deckard, however, getting that root after the mind control, absolutely just bonkers. Gazlo will fall here, and now Li-Ming has some reset potential. Is going to focus entirely on the Protector, as the core falling under 30%, and each one of these hits from the Protector does about 5-7% of damage. And there it is, game number 3 going over to Wholesome Halfwits. And as they say, you cannot have a reverse sweep unless you lose game number 1. And let me reach out to Stiljelly here. So pretty strong showing. You know, these best of 3, when you get a 2-1 like this, you know, it really showcases the talent that both of these teams have, and the different styles in their drafting and their gameplay. And I'm no longer alone. Hello. There are more of you.
Hello.
Is there anybody else joining us?
Hey. Who knows?
Just me and Trib.
All right, well, fair enough. Let me hit over to the interview. All right, so we've got Crooked Smile and Tribulation coming over from Wholesome Halfwits. So congratulations on your win, guys. That was a fun series to watch.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was a fun one to play, that's for sure.
I bet. So I'm gonna start with something that I heard before the stream came on. So I apologize because but it was on the stream, so I'm not giving anything away. You guys said it in public. So
Yeah.
So we go into the beginning here, and the first map is in Infernal Shrines.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe the comment was something along the lines of, "Wait, we're going to Infernal Shrines. Didn't they just watch our last game?"
Oh, did they? Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, well, they played a match right before, so I'm not sure that they watched our game. Didn't they have a doubleheader as well?
I'm sure that they didn't watch it. I was just pointing out the comment, but it didn't work out so well for you guys.
No, it
in
did.
game number 1.
Well, yeah, they immediately banned Kerrigan.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
so
they banned my blades the first 2 games. I was not happy about it.
Well, you know what? I mean, for what it's worth, obviously, I mean, you can't get a reverse sweep unless you lose the first game, right? So
Exactly.
Yeah, but 2-0 is better, isn't it?
you know,
Yeah,
it depends on what you're looking for, right? Yes, it's more points. It'll help your standings.
I don't care about points. I just want to beat people.
Well, see, there you go. You just beat them.
Okay.
2-1. See, that's all that matters. Who won the match? You guys won the match. So congratulations on that. So we saw some Oriole tonight, which is a little surprise. It was surprising to me how much Oriole we saw. Of course, it was all on the other side. You guys didn't pick it. You didn't ban it until phase 3. So what's the deal with that?
I mean, she's just strong. I mean, I think Rez is really strong right now. I mean,
Yeah, I do too.
Then why'd you guys leave it up?
I mean, we weren't afraid of it. Like we would rather them play it, Like we felt the only reason we lost game 1 was because we weren't ready to deal with the variant. We weren't in the mindset to deal with the variant taunt, combos. Like we were just letting ourselves die to it. So that was really the only thing we changed up. And even then, we weren't super afraid of the variant. Obviously, we let it open the next 2 games. We just had to decide to not play into it.
Well, I was Deathwing the second game. I can't get taunted.
Right. Well, and you guys banned out the Grey Mane too in the second game, which I thought was pretty much pivotal because, like you said, I mean, it was their potential to 100 to 0 somebody in basically 2 seconds that really, won them the game in game 1. Right? I mean, it set you guys back a hero in almost every case. So, so then you guys go to game 2, Tomb of the Spider Queen. It was a little bit back and forth. Like the beginning of the game looked, if I remember correctly, it started off a little bit in their favor, and then it was almost like a tidal wave, right? The water recedes, and then it just goes whoosh. And,
we got 10s.
And then there you go, right?
Yeah, Deathwing became a real hero, and then our 10s just turned on, luckily. And I think in that game, a lot of it, their Ariel player played a lot forward. I think almost every single one of my Kerrigan combos caught Ariel that game. She was playing very aggressive with her Varian.
Other than the ones that you whiffed completely, which I pointed out at least 2, so I'm sorry. It just happened.
Those are the most memorable ones.
Right. So at the beginning of game 2, after losing game 1, like, what do you guys discuss as far as how to set up for game 2? Like, do you go into it saying, you know what, we're first pick, let's get Deathwing? Like, what was the plan to make sure you set up in draft to be successful in that?
Well, we knew we wanted the Deathwing, but then the rest of our draft just kind of picked stuff. Like, we ended up with a Samuro where we weren't really quite sure what we were going to do with that. We just had it.
Yeah, that was weird.
And was that Malavial that played Samuro, or was that somebody else?
That was Malavio.
Okay. So you guys had, of course, G Money Drums lost his internet there after the first game as well. So you guys brought in a sub on your roster, arguably some different heroes that don't see a ton of play. You don't see a ton of Samuro. You certainly never see Gazlo. Almost, I think he's got a handful of games total.
Yeah, well, when you draft 4 melee characters, Gravel Bomb's pretty good.
Yeah, I mentioned that too. Right, I was like, this is gonna be a Gravel Bomb and the stun and the ETC and all that stuff. So yeah. So and it was called out. It was the first thing said in draft. Ban Gazlo. No ban on Gazlo.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Malavial is a very niche player. Like, that he plays Samuro and Gazlo. Those are like his heart set mains, like those 3 and white main. That's like all he really plays. So he doesn't play a whole lot.
Oh.
We have a third interviewee in the chat
yeah, we
here.
do.
No worries. Well, you know what? It seemed to work out for you guys. You had some, you changed some things up, and the Gazlo play was really fantastic. Seeing some of those TNTs come out to, zone out and also kind of just discourage the aggression that the Muradin had, or even sometimes the Varian. And like you said, I mean, having 4 melee into that was a very difficult time for them. It felt very difficult for them to get what they wanted with that potential blow up. I thought they would get more out of a taunt Li Ming than they got out of taunt Jaina with the cursed bullet, but it never really got where it needed to be. And considering you guys still had like the ETC, you had a lot more defensive things like the bunker and the Lornado. Was Decker to plan for that, like right at the beginning? Because I thought he was questionable for that.
Well, as soon as we saw, what was it, on their third pick, they went like Varian Greymane or something like that. I
think that was Varian. Let's see,
like,
they go
on their second round of picks. I think they went like Varian Greymane or something like that. Well, once we saw that, we were like, we'll pick Decker and do the Ruby heal.
Yeah, pretty much. Once we knew
Varian
we wanted
Stukov.
to take the Gazlo, we were like, well, rubies are going to be huge here, and Lornado helps with the taunt. Gazlo can help with the taunt, because if he gets taunt, he automatically drops a bomb after 13. He can just throw bombs on whoever gets taunted. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we wanted the Deckard as soon as we pretty much knew we were gonna pick the Gaslow.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Cool. Well, it's late. I'm getting tired, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. You guys can each answer this in your own individual way. What was a moment tonight that was a particular highlight for you, whether it was something you did, your team did, or the opponents did?
I like Confagurate on Kerrigan stunts.
Oh yeah, Deathwing 16 on Kerrigan Sons was huge. Yeah.
As soon as that happened, it just started melting.
All of like the big 3 and 4 man blaze stuns, those were definitely the highlights.
Oh, thank you.
Right on.
Oh shit, man, I'm blushing now.
All right, well, guys, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Any shout-outs you'd like to make?
Shout out to G Money for leaving so we could get Malavial in and actually win the games. And shout out to Activision for making this great game. Great again.
I like the team for inviting me to be in A division instead of lower divisions. First time here, and they're letting me play.
There you go. And you know what? Thanks to everybody who's playing at internet bars and getting hit on by ladies and having their IDs checked and all that stuff. So there you go.
Oh.
Yeah. Shout out to them.
Good deal, guys. Well, again, congratulations on your win. Don't forget to report your match. And how'd you guys fare in the match before this, by the way?
We 2-0'd them.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Good job. Well, that should bump you guys up in the standings pretty well.
Maybe.
Sure hope so.
Yeah.
Maybe one day Ryokai will be on NGS Edge and say that we're actually good.
You know,
no, I don't want to be good. I want them to think we're bad.
Don't hold your breath.
No.
Don't hold your breath. If there's one thing that I've found is that you don't want to be the team that they think's good. Because last team they were like, Regen Phoenix, fantastic, and we were garbage. So there you go. All right, guys, have a great night.
You too, Era. Thank you.
All right. That's it for us, everybody. That's the end of the night, and we're going to wrap up right at midnight going into the next day. There are definitely some matches coming up for you tomorrow here for Nexus Gaming Series. I'm not sure if any of them are cast. Let me take a quick peek as we just get everything wrapped up here. Right now, 8:30 to 10:30, there are half a dozen matches available, none of them currently cast. So hopefully we'll get some casters for those so you guys have something to do on Sunday night. But in any case, thanks for stopping by. Have a wonderful night. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you soon.